welcome back to my YouTube channel. So this is kind of my first official YouTube video, and today I'm going to be recording with one of my best friends, Tanya Rachel Makeup.
Hey!
And yeah, so previously we've just recorded a video for Tanya's YouTube channel, and we'll leave the link in the description below. So yeah, the look that I'm going to do is a day to night look because she already has a beautiful glowing face at the moment. Instead of taking it all off, we just decided to do a bit of a transformation into a night look. Yeah, so I'm really excited to get started. This will be my first YouTube video doing an actual tutorial. So I am really excited and I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions or anything, just leave them in the box and we can get back to you. So yeah, enjoy, thanks. Okay, so basically we're just going to start off. As you can see, she has her foundation done, she also has her contouring, and she has her eyebrows filled in. She has a soft brown on the eyes and a little bit of frosted eyeshadow on the inner duct. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to smoke it up, and I'm going to use some, I'll talk you through it as I go along anyway, but I'm going to use some matte colours in the socket and build that up to make it a more smoky look. I'm probably going to do a gel liner, maybe some lashes, and probably change the lip colour as well. Okay. So I'm going to get started. So the palette that I'm going to use is a Flexi palette from Inglot that I randomly chose different colours. And it's actually a mixture of eyeshadows and blushers that I'm going to use. So I'm going to start off and going in with a little kind of chisel brush and pop some of the matte black in the socket. So if you get close down there. So I'm just going to pop this in the socket in a little C shape. And then I'm going to go in with one of my Morph Blend, or no, actually that's not it. One of the Morph Blending blushes and brushes, and I'm going to pop some of this kind of warm...
Want me to hold that for you?
No, it's grand. This kind of warm orangey kind of undertone blush, and I'm going to blend that out. So the colours that she already has in her eyes is kind of similar to this, so that's why I'm just kind of blending that in with that.
And we can list all of the products and brushes that are used in the description box as well. So for anyone that's curious, we can leave all the shade numbers and all that info in the description. Are most of the products that you're going to be using on me today from Inglot, or?
Most of the shadows that I'm going to use is Inglot, yes. For the rest of the products, I'm not really sure exactly. There'll be a mixture between Inglot and MAC. I might use a little bit of NARS as well, I'm not sure.
Haven't tried any NARS products before.
Although I love their foundations, and you already have your foundation done, so we'll see about that. So I'm just doing like circular motions to blend that out.
This feels like college.
I'm also going to go on top with a little bit of matte brown because the orange has kind of softened the black a little too much for what I wanted. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of the matte brown on top of that and blend them both together.
If you could only choose one eyeshadow that you could like, if there was only one eyeshadow in the whole entire world that was ever allowed to be purchased, what eyeshadow would you pick?
Oh, one brand, I'd probably pick Inglot. One eyeshadow? One eyeshadow. Oh, that you have I couldn't just pick one. I couldn't. What would you pick?
I think you have it in that 10 palette actually. It's an Inglot 563, I think.
Is it a matte brown one?
It's a matte brown colour, and it's so soft, but you can blend out with it. It's so nice. I think I told you about it because you can like blend all the harsh.
Yeah, and I used to actually use it in brows and stuff as well. I'm also popping a little bit of this kind of like warm, winey cranberry colour in there as well. So when I'm doing like a smoky eye, I like to use like lots of different tones. Now obviously, like if you're not really into makeup and you're just buying the palette, you don't have to have like 100 colours, but because I have these, I just really like the effect of lots of different tones together.
When it's there, you'll use it.
Exactly. But it's so simple to go from a day look to a night look just by adding a bit of smoke to the eyes.
It really is a few simple steps and you're ready to go out and night out like.
Can you get you to open up for me? Perfect. So as you can probably see there's quite like a harsh line. It's not really harsh, but it's a quite definitive difference between, say, under her brow bone and the actual smoky eye. Some of these softer colours to blend and mix those together to basically get rid of that harshness. And this is a little crown brush that I'm using.
Is that like really similar to the MAC 217 brush?
It will be, yeah. So now I'm going to use the MAC brown and a little bit of the black underneath. So I always basically do the same on the bottom as I do on the top. So I'm just going to pop those colours underneath. So there probably will be a bit of fallout, so I'm probably going to have to clean that up and stuff, but that's okay, we can worry about that when we get to it. So I'm literally just applying it right underneath the lash line. I always use an angle brush, and then I'll blend it out with like a little brush like...
Oh, because it gets right in to the lash line.
So I'm going to go back in with this little crown brush, and it's basically just like a fluffy little blender brush as well. And I'm going to blend that dark kind of smoky look underneath again. This is like really tickly as well, so luckily Tanya's used to people at her eyes. So ignore this like panda look that we have going on here, because there's quite a bit of fallout from the black matte shadow. So I'm going to use a matte kind of white ivory colour for underneath the brow bone to highlight that. I prefer a matte colour here as opposed to a frosted. It's just a personal thing. Personally, even though Tanya mightn't like this, I'm actually going to sharpen up her brows a little bit more because I like sharp brows.
Yeah, I feel like they need a little bit of definition at the moment,
yeah,
because they're just a little bit lost.
So in some of my later videos you'll probably notice that I actually usually always start the eyes with the eyebrows and then go on to the eyeshadows, but seeing as she already had some eyeshadow, that's why I kind of started to build that up, and then I realised her eyes are that bit darker and now her eyebrows are lost, so that's why I'm going in with some of the MAC Fluid Line brow gel, and this is the shade Dip Down. So I'm just using an angular brush, and this one is from Real Techniques, and it's just the brow brush. So I'm gonna pop a bit under here, so I'm basically just following the shape that she has, only defining them a little bit more. So I'm just doing like little feathered kind of motions here for the start of the brow, because I don't really like square brows.
Yeah, they're awful, aren't they? You see so many people.
My cup of tea at all.
You see so many people going around with them, and they're just really harsh. It's just,
yeah.
The really fluffy brows are in at the moment, though.
Love fluffy brows. So I'm just combing them through with a little disposable mascara wand, just to give. I love defined brows, but I also like them to be a bit real looking. So it gives just that bit of a real effect. So for the gel liner, I'm going to use the Inglot 77, and I'm also going to use the Inglot Line to loosen it a bit because it's a little bit dried up. So I'm just going to put one little dot of that in. I'm going to use just a small little liner brush, just a thin liner brush. I always use one of these ones for doing the gel liner. Some people like to use an angle one, but I just feel like I get a more precise line with this. So I put some product on, and then I just dip it off in the lid so that I don't have too much product on the brush, because it's better to add than having too much, personally, I feel. So I usually start in the centre of the lid, and it's actually easier to do your liner if you have no mascara on first, because when the mascara is on your lashes are a bit more stiff, and then it can get in the way. But obviously when you're going from a date night, you're most likely going to have your mascara already done, so that's okay. So just doing like small little strokes. And I'll get you to slightly open up and look down to your knees for me. And get you to open up. Perfect. And I'm also going to get you to look down again. So I think I'm going to do like a small little wing liner in this. get you to open up then. Perfect. So the same process this side. Just gonna get you to slightly turn your faces. I'll get you open and I'll get you to turn your head this way. Perfect. So I'm going to get you to close down one more time and I'm just going to let that dry a little bit more. I'm also going to pop some of this cranberry colour on the lid. Again, this is another one of the Inglot palettes that I have just chosen random colours that I really like. So I'll get you to close down. So I'm going to pop this on the centre part of the lid. Now this one here is a little bit of glitter, and as you can see there's quite a bit of fallout on that as well. But we'll tidy all that up. And again, this is one of the Real Techniques brushes, just a little fluffy blending brush again. I'll get you to open up. Fabulous. Perfect. And again, I'm going to go in with a little bit of that frosted eyeshadow, which Tanya already has, but it's just to, I'll get your toes in, just to make it a little more precise there on both sides.
And it's just to brighten up the eye, is it?
Exactly, just to open it up that little bit more.
Cool.
Perfect. Now, the mascara I'm using is the MAC Insta Curl Lash one. Now, because obviously I'm doing it on Tanya, who's a client as such, I have to use a disposable mascara wand. So I don't actually get to use the effect of the mascara. So basically this one here has a little twisty head on it, and it's easy to get into those fine little lashes on the inner corner and on the bottom as well. So it's really handy for all of that. But I'm obviously going to be using this little disposable one. And I'll get to look straight up for me as well. Perfect. So I'm also going to add some of the brown kohl pencil from Inglot. Look straight up for me. So this is like really soft on the waterline. How does it feel?
Really soft.
It doesn't drag. Yeah, it doesn't drag. Is the thing.
It's not sharp or like hard.
Perfect. So for this fallout, I'm just going to use a little face wipe, and I'm going to take that away. So I'm not obviously going to take away all the eyeshadow underneath because I still want that smoky effect, but I'm just going to leave that there. So I just see a little bit under the light. And again this side. So if you want to try and avoid all of this, you could possibly put a piece of tissue or whatever underneath your eye when you're starting off. Personally, I just would rather to clean it up. It's as handy, but some people feel like this is going to totally like ruin their makeup, but I feel like we're going to be okay.
I trust you.
Just going to go in with some of the Inglot Under Eye Concealer and pop this on here to tidy that up. Just kind of roughly doing this, and then I'll blend in some of the foundation. I'm going to pop some of the Pro Longwear NC25 mixed with that.
That's true.
Yeah. Get you a look at me there. Perfect. So I'm also just going to use the smaller little concealer brush just to tidy it up a bit more, which looks straight up again. So that is her eyes concealed underneath. I am going to add a little bit more contour and blush and highlight and all that kind of thing because it is a nighttime look and I love going all glam. So yeah. Contour products that I'm going to use are the Dark Deep Mineralized Skin Finish. I'm going to use the Inglot 02 Sparkling Dust for the highlighter, and then for the blush I'm going to use one of the warm kind of peachy orangey tones from Inglot, and I just think they kind of go with the look that I've actually done here. And then for the lip, I'm not exactly sure what colour we're going to go yet, but we'll see.
Up to you.
We'll see. So this is a Morph brush that I'm using, and I usually do the contour in kind of like a little C shape. I love the MAC Mineralize powders because I find they really like blend into the skin quite well. They don't sit on it and make it cakey looking, and if you've any like dry skin or any areas that are problematic, they don't just kind of highlight that as such. But this one here gives a really lovely golden kind of tone. So as you can see, there's a bit of a difference. If you just lift up your neck a little bit, Tanya has been on holidays and her neck is a little bit whiter. So I'm just going to pop this down here because her chest is actually the same colour as her face, but obviously you can't get that part tan too well, so. Perfect. So the blush that I'm using is this one here. I'm just going to pop some of that on the apples of the cheek. Blend it up. So now I'm going in with the fan brush and I'm going to pop the highlighter. Look at that glow.
Am I
just amazing.
Oh yeah, girl.
It's literally my favourite highlighter, like, love it.
I wonder if you ate this, would you have sparkly poo?
I can't believe you just said that.
Curious what way you digest it, like.
So on top of the Dark Deep that I just done on the contour, I'm going to go in with this here, which is the Gold Deposit. Now this one is actually fallen and it's in absolute bits, but I'm still going to use it because I love it.
Nothing wrong with it.
So just going to tap that off a little bit because there's loads on it, and just on top of your Dark Deep. Now I'm going to have to blend that as well, but this is just placing it on first. And I want a really nice kind of glowy skin look that she has kind of going on here. So instead of going in with loads of powder, I'm actually just going to do a little bit on her T-zone. Just going to blend this first, something that has no powder on it, because I want to get rid of any harsh lines. And I'm going to use the Inglot Translucent Powder, which is number 14. Go on the T-zone a little bit, slightly on the forehead, and just a little bit on the chin there.
Is this where I get really oily?
Yeah. Fabulous. So as you can see, Tanya already has a nude lip on, so I'm going to remove that with a little face wipe again, and then I'm going to have to actually touch up a little bit of your foundation around that, but we'll do that. So just wipe that away. So for the lips, I've decided to go with a kind of purpley colour, and it's called Media from MAC. It is a satin lipstick, so it's not like completely drying, and it has a nice little finish. So for the lip liner, I'm actually going to use 2 of the MAC lip liners for it, and one is called Current and then the other one is called Cyber World. So it's kind of a mixture between, there's probably one that's absolutely perfect, but I don't have the perfect one, so I'm going to do a mixture. So I usually start in the corner and bring them up to the centre into the Cupid's bow, and the same from the corner here, and then bring that down. So I usually fill in the lip as well. I'm actually going to fill it in with the current so it's brighter. So I'm just going to use a lip brush and go in with this. I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit. So the last thing I'm going to do is pop a pair of lashes on because you're never fully dressed without your eyelashes.
Yeah, I would not go on a night out without eyelashes. I feel bald or something.
Yeah, it'd be so weird. So I'm going to use these nice little full lashes on her because it is for a glam. So for a lash application, I always have a little scissors, a little tweezers, and then the famous Duo glue that I absolutely swear by. So I'm going to pop them off and measure them up against her eyes. I'm just going to measure these up. I'll get you close down. And I'm going to pop these into the corner. Measure them here and open. They're actually the perfect shape for her eye, so we didn't really know that. Yeah. They're actually perfect. So I'm going to pop those off. And a little trick, I always wrap the eyelashes around a brush. And it's basically just to bend the lash line into a natural lash line shape, because you don't know how long they've actually been sitting in that packet for, so
yeah, it
just kind of helps them mold into your natural shape.
True.
Just around like that.
Oh, that's really cute.
I just popped some Duo glue onto the lash line. I don't know if you can really see that, but
really
yeah, you just literally leave it on for about 30 seconds and allow it to get tacky, and then you pop them on. So usually what I do is place the center part in first and then tap down your edges. So now we just use the little tweezers for this part. So the goal is to get the lashes to as close as the lash line as possible. And get it to open up for me. Perfect. How do they feel?
Perfect.
Let me have a look. Oh, I love them. These are like one of my favourite lashes. I absolutely love them. Get your close down again. So I'm just going to let that set another little bit just to make sure it's all fully dry. And I'm going to do the other side. So again, I've just popped a thin layer of the Duo glue on top of the lash line, and I'm going to pop these on. So sometimes your top and your bottom lashes can actually stick together a little bit with the Duo glue. I'll get you to look straight up. And this is just from the excess glue that has been placed on the lash line. I'll get you to close down again. So once you pop them on and they're actually sitting well, open and close your eyes once or twice, and just so they're not completely stuck. And then I let them close again to let them fully set, basically. So I'm just popping some clear mascara into the brows just to set them that bit, because I didn't do it earlier. Fabulous. Perfect. And last but not least, I'm going to pop some Charged Water Fixing Spray on, which is this one here.
It smells so nice.
Need to close it.
Like, your blend is something else. What the f You're so blended, like it's so smooth looking.
It is smooth looking.
It's just so like...
Isn't she fabulous?
I really like it.
Thanks, girl.
You haven't done my makeup in 5 years.
I know, it's literally
It's so
5 years.
weird. 5 years, holy moly.
Yeah. So that is basically how I would transform a day to night look. I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to see more content like this, give me a follow. And I will leave a list of the products that I used and the brushes and all that kind of thing in the description below. If you'd like to see more videos or any suggestions on what you'd like to see, tutorials or whatever, just let me know. Thanks again. Bye.